because it's the day before Thanksgiving. So if you have any comments, questions, anything you want to talk about, I want to let people talk. There's a lot of people who may not have a place, it may not be safe to go be with your family on this holiday season. Many people experience that. Many people, I had a client yesterday, a mediumship client, and she said, in the reading, her spirit loved one came through and said, you don't have to go. That was their message. You don't have to go. And it just came through like that. And I said, your loved one is saying you don't have to go. And my client said, I feel obligated to go. So, that's a thing we feel. And so anyway, I grew up in a very dysfunctional family, and it took me until I was 52 years old to stop telling lies and making up excuses. Oh, that's a great one, Wounded Wound Warrior. I'll get to that in just a second. Any comments, anything you want to talk about, put it in the chat. I was 52 years old this year. I'm 52 now, so this is recent. When I was invited to a family event, remember, my parents were both addicts. My mother died, my father's still alive, and I have a stepmother and stepsisters, and a lot of issues around, my dad raised my step family and basically just dumped all of us, lots of that kind of stuff. They had a lot of money. We did not have any money, that kind of thing. And so there's a lot of stuff that I thought I worked through that came up again for me over these past couple of years. So I was invited to an event after my dad didn't come to my wedding he said he had to work. And then my son got married last year, so my dad was invited to my son's wedding, and he didn't go. So it kind of brought up this whole huge rebirth of these feelings. And then they're having this giant party for another member of the family for their birthday, and this member of the family has had a lot of struggles and has not done himself any favors. So, thank you, Patty. Yeah, I kind of forget about it and move on. But it brought everything back up when my dad didn't go to my son's wedding after not going to my wedding. And it really got me upset. And so for the first time, I was brave enough to say basically, instead of making an excuse not to go to the event, I told them the truth. I'm going through a lot of emotions right now, and it's about the family, and I can't handle that right now. And it was so freeing. I felt so free being able to say that. But it was hard. It was really hard, but I was at a point where I had to do it for self-preservation. It was difficult. And the thing is, before I get to Wounded Wound Warrior's comment, hi Kathy, I'm back talking about family dynamics. So if you want to chime in, I lost my train of thought. I don't remember what I was going to say. Anyway, I'll go to, yes, setting boundaries, Patty. Yeah. Patty says, when you set boundaries, you learn very quickly who's worth your time and who isn't. Yep. Holly, a Wounded Wound Warrior, wants to say, give some examples of boundaries around the holidays. Basically, similar to the story I said. If you get invited somewhere and you don't feel like it's safe for you to go, say no. If you don't feel safe to tell the truth, I always made excuses. If you're not ready to tell the truth, make an excuse, and they're going to talk trash about, if that's your family dynamic, they're going to talk trash about you no matter what you want to do, like no matter what you decide. If your family's dysfunctional, like every family is dysfunctional, like very few families aren't. If you don't think your family's dysfunctional, that's great. But I think most people would agree that that's a thing, that everybody's got some stuff in their family. So setting boundaries is allowing yourself to say no to keep yourself protected emotionally. Anything specific, Holly? Totally fine to make excuses at first. Yeah, I did that for a long time. If they love you, they'll respect it. And that's, Patty, that's the key. Best comment. If they love you, they'll respect it. If they love you, they'll respect it. And that's the problem in families. Most families are conditional. I love you if you bow down to what I say. I love you if you do what I think you should do. I'll treat you nice if you behave the way I tell you to behave. And if anybody's in a dysfunctional family, you're aware of these types of dynamics, especially if you have a narcissist in your family, for sure. Boundaries are a must. Do you want to hop on here with me, Kathy? If I can figure out, and if you want to talk about family stuff, or you can just, whatever you want to do. I'm not sure if I'll get to readings. I think this might be more appropriate today since it's the day before Thanksgiving and so many people are struggling and suffering. I think there's more people than we realize that struggle with saying no. Saying no in a family situation. Lots of people just go to stop the train of gossip about them. Wounded Womb says, yes, I experienced just what you said. Saying no. And then I was on here earlier with Huggable Healer, Hannah the Huggable Healer, and we were talking about a lot of this stuff earlier today. And if you do readings, I'll hop on for one or two. Okay. Usually it takes a little while. I only have 9 people on here, including you and Holly. So I don't, we'll see how it goes. But Huggable Healer, we had one plan and we got off on a tangent about family stuff around the holidays this morning, and it was a wonderful talk. I hope it helped some people. And TikTok's doing this thing again. This happened to me like a week or 2 ago where I post a video and it gets like 13 views or 27. And then it pops back to normal and I got my normal 200 to 300 views, which is also terrible. Thank you, Patty. Yeah, they can be. But today, after my live with Huggable Healer, I noticed my next video, it was like 4 hours ago I posted it, has like 18 or 20 views, and it's like, what is happening? But I posted a video about digital marketing, and I stitched a video about how, hi Trent, about how once a platform gets so crowded, they start putting all these ads, and then they expect the users, the content creators, to pay for ads. And this happened to me on Facebook a few weeks ago. I had my daughter-in-law does some of my social media stuff in the background. Nothing like major, like we don't have a big production company or anything, but she'll like, hi Jessica, she'll like schedule things to post. And I said, you know what? Let me try a couple of ads. They're pretty inexpensive. I'll spend $10 or $20 to push them out a little bit and see what happens. Well, nothing happened. There was no uptick in my views or anything. And so I'm like, okay, don't post any. We tried it for like a month. And then I said, okay, don't post anything else. Then Facebook charged me for an ad I did not ask for. And I don't even know what they pushed out. I have no idea, but they charged me. So I like removed my information from their website for the payment method. And since then, my Facebook, I'm not getting pushed out at all on Facebook either. I think they're trying to encourage me to pay for more ads, and it's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I just, I was growing kind of, a little bit. It's hard to grow on certain platforms at certain times unless you're showing body parts and stuff. For an older woman, I'm not doing anything that would gain a lot of views quickly. This is a special niche, and I was kind of, just a little growing. Kathy, actually, my good friend Kathy on here is a wonderful, incredible medium. She encouraged me to go a little bit more over to Facebook to, maybe grow my audience. Because I had a Facebook and I may have had 50 or 100 followers. I never really went over there. Occasionally I did. But I got up to like 450 or something now. And which is great, and I appreciate all of that. But it has, ever since I took my information out for those ads that I stopped paying for, I haven't grown at all. Libra girl, what do you want? You want a mediumship reading or like a psychic reading? I'm not necessarily, hi Amy, psychic. I normally do psychic mediumship, where I connect to your loved one in spirit. Is this something about a relationship maybe? And you know what, Kathy? I'm going to talk to my super good, wonderful friend Kathy here. I was asking Kathy and our other friend Wendy, we do events together, and we went through mediumship classes together, about, can I consider myself psychic since I was trained for mediumship? And I don't charge for readings on here, and I'm not even necessarily sure I'm going to do a reading right now. But anyway, Kathy said, yeah, of course, every medium is psychic, and you are using a psychic connection. And ever since you and Wendy told me that, my psychic stuff has turned on like immensely. And then in the class yesterday, Kathy encouraged me to take a class with, I think, Tony Stockwell. I think that's his name. It was wonderful. And he brought up this whole thing about being psychic. And I was like, boy, Spirit has a funny way of showing us what we need to hear when we need to hear it. It was very good validation for what you guys had already told me. All right, so a bunch of comments. Libra girl, I just I'm not promising a reading. I just want to know, are you, is there a relationship thing you're going through right now? You're welcome, Amy. Okay, so I would say, just quickly, briefly, 30 seconds, because you asked, follow your intuition, and if you know that you already know the answer, accept that answer that you already know in your heart, and act accordingly. That's what I would say. And I would say that to anybody who asks me about a relationship. Now, I've been married almost 28 years, and, that's a long time, and you go through a lot of stuff in a marriage, as anybody who's married or been married on here knows. Any relationship comes with challenges. And I think I said this earlier about progress, not perfection. If you're in a relationship with a romantic partner or a friend or a family member that you're close to, hi, Nakai. 30 years, yeah. Okay, you guys have been together 30 years. Is that what you're saying? So this is how I decide what to do when I have a question about any relationship. That's a long time. If my partner, loved one, friend, family member, whatever, is making progress, even if they, backslide, I'm not talking about affairs or anything like that in a relationship. That's a totally different thing. I'm just talking about regular issues in marriages. If the person is open to changing, even if it's slow progress, you have to decide, is this progress worth staying in this for? Am I hurting more than I'm happy? Am I, and it's not a decision anybody can make for you. And people are going to judge you whatever you do. Trust me. And I'm sure if you've been married 30 years, you know that already. But you have to decide how much progress in moving forward can you tolerate. Like, are they going at a snail's pace, but they're still going forward? That's good. And you know what else happens sometimes? When, say there's a big shakeup in a relationship and the one person knows that they're going to leave me if I don't change this right now. They're leaving. I got to get it together because they're going to leave me and I don't want to lose them. And then the person's like, all right, I'm changing. And they change at the fastest speed you've ever seen. And all of a sudden they're cured of all their problems. That's also a red flag. I'm aware of a situation where someone who was an addict got sober real quick and went through the steps at lightning speed, but really didn't really go through the steps. They kind of were still a jerk and kind of very dysfunctional still. So there's a middle ground where there's progress. How much progress, and it also depends. Is there DV? Is there? It's very relationships, and especially 30-year relationship. It's very complex, and there's a lot of stuff going on. There's family stuff, I'm sure, that doesn't help. So you have to decide how much can you bear compared to, are they stifling your light? Are they stifling you as a person? Are you able to be who you are? I have 10,000 likes and 10 people on here. Somebody's going crazy. Y'all are awesome. Are they stifling you as a person? Can you be yourself? Do you feel safe? Yeah. Isn't that funny what TikTok does? I have, just FYI, I have 37,000 followers. And I know it's like the middle of the day on a Wednesday and people are doing family stuff, but this is common for me. When I used to come on here at the beginning, right when I had 1,000 followers, I'd get 100, 200 people on a live, no matter what time of day it was. And I'd do reading after reading after reading after reading. And I might have, 2,000 likes. It's interesting what they do. They want you to gossip or take your top off on this app to get Shorty, thank you. So yeah, I would say you definitely have to decide, weigh it, how much are they changing? Are they stifling me? How much can you take? And it's hard. And I would say, I wouldn't say psychically, oh, you gotta go. Oh, they're tearing you apart, you gotta go. I wouldn't say that to anybody. I would never tell somebody how to act in their relationship, whether it's just friend to friend or unless something absolutely horrible has happened, that's a different story. But like a normal relationship with its ups and downs, that's for you to decide. And you have to be the one to figure that out. Unfortunately, it's hard. Relationships are hard. I recently, this past year, probably this past few months, I ended a 30-year friendship, 30-something, 1986, we became friends, because they just were not functioning in the friendship, and hadn't been for a really long time, equally. You're welcome, Libra girl. And that's hard when you, and I think, maybe and there was another friendship that I ended a few years ago, right when I first became a medium. And I'm just wondering, I wonder if Kathy has had this experience. Yep. Thank you, Kathy. It's like we're psychic. Another friendship I had right when I became a medium, started training, I ended a friendship because it just wasn't helpful. I'm a Sagittarius. My birthday is December 7th. So I'm fire. But I also have a super soft side. So I'm like two sides of a coin. Yeah. What sign are you? Oh, I guess you're Libra. I don't know a lot of astrology. Kathy, do you know anything about Libras? But yeah, so Kathy, if you could tell me, did you find relationships you had with friends or loved ones changed after you started mediumship? Because, and I'm a lot. This could also be age, not after mediumship, really, like before that. This could be age or just doing a lot of self-reflection. I'm a lot stronger in my convictions. Oh, really? So you must have been Spirit was on that track getting you ready, probably, I would guess, to get rid of the baggage. And interestingly, both of these friends that I am not friends with anymore, really. One I haven't talked to in a few years. The other is in limbo. Who knows? But both of them lived very far from me. So we had lived all in the same place for a long time, and then over the years we had moved far away from each other. So that may have contributed to the length of our friendship. I think maybe had we been closer in proximity and had to see each other more, that may have caused the friendship to end sooner. But who knows? And yeah, I think, like Kathy said, people come into our life for a reason. Hi, Mindful Medium Andy. It's nice to see you here. I'm just chatting. If anybody has any family dynamic questions or holiday questions, or just wants to talk about how hard it is, if it is hard for you to deal with your family during the holiday season, I like the idea of Friendsgiving. Having a group of friends get together. I'm far from my family. I have a son in California and a son in Savannah, Georgia, and I'm in Florida. Yes, Amy. Yes, Kathy. But my sons are both coming here December 1st to visit. So tomorrow my husband and I are going to out to eat. I've never gone out to eat on Thanksgiving in my life. So, but I'm very excited. Because there's no cooking, there's no cleaning. I didn't have to buy a bunch of stuff. Until my kids get here, then I'm gonna have a lot of stuff. Amy says, holidays are hard for me because family is so difficult. Yes, yes, yes. Do you want any advice from all of us on here? Kathy, I've learned that it's okay to go no contact even with family. Yes, ma'am. Amy said to Kathy, yes, same, tired of the stigma of their family. Yep. Oh, that their family? Yeah, family who's abusive, family who's narcissistic, family who doesn't love you unconditionally, family who's judgmental, all those things. Yeah, they're family. Yeah. Exactly, Amy Smith says exactly. I have a story about, I was going through a difficult situation, and I went away with a friend, and my friend, I was kind of having a weekend getaway escape from the situation I was dealing with at home. And my friend was so mean and so awful. This is what ended our friendship. That I was like, oh my God, I wouldn't, I want to go back to that other, I want to go back home. Because, wow, some people, you don't know how crazy they are till you're stuck with them in a hotel room for a couple of days. And then you're like, wow, this is how you live all the time? That's not good. I keep my circle real small. All right, Amy. Hi, Wendy. Wendy with an I. Let's see what we have here. Thank you for the follows, and I have 18.8 thousand likes and 10 whole people watching. That's pretty amazing. Wounded Wound Warrior. My circle is a dot. I love that. Ooh, this is a good one. Let's see. Kathy, quality over quantity. Amen. Trent says, hi, Trent. What's worse, family you don't want to be with at holidays or no family at all? Yeah, we were talking about that earlier with Hannah. And she said, and I can't remember exactly how she said it, but I hope she makes a whole video about it. She said something to the effect of, what can you tolerate if you go with to your family for the holiday and you suffer the abuse, even if you don't recognize it as abuse, or the loneliness and thinking about, I'm all alone on the holiday. For me, I'd rather be alone, but I'm older, have more life experience, and it took me a long time to get to that point. A really, really long time. So it's the person has to decide, you know. And a couple of people asked about boundaries earlier, and that's another thing we talked about earlier today on the live. I'll give you an example. So I was invited, this was 4 or 5 years ago, to go to my dad's house for Christmas. I couldn't remember the last time I had a Christmas with my dad, probably the 80s. And that is not an exaggeration at all. It's not. And he invited me, him and his wife invited me to their house, me and my sons and my husband. And my boundary was, okay, we'll go, but we're staying in a hotel. And they were so disappointed that we weren't staying at their house. And I'm like, all 4 of us are going to sleep in a full bed in one bedroom. My kids are over 6 feet tall, and so is my husband. We're staying at a hotel. You know, ridiculous things like that. So when you're not in your own space and you're already anxious, being forced to stay in someone else's space makes it worse. So my boundary was, we will come over there, but we're going to stay in a hotel. And we're going to stay a couple hours and see you later. And that's what we did. It was great. And then I just stopped going altogether. May I please hear from my brother? Hold on a minute. Trent says, thank you for the follows and the likes. Being an only child has groomed me to be alone at holiday time. Yep, that happens. I have a big family, and that has groomed me to be alone at holiday time. I think the bigger the family, the more dysfunctional, personally. Kathy says, abuse lasts a lifetime. The loneliness is temporary. Yeah. And that's a good point, because if you are going to be completely alone on a holiday, because everybody's doing family stuff, try to find someone that you can spend the day with the day before or the day after, or someone you can video chat with maybe that evening or in the morning, because we all need connection, right? If COVID taught us anything, it taught us a lot of things. One of the things it did teach us is humans crave connection. And sometimes we crave connection so much that we will stay connected with people who are harmful to us just to have that connection. So if you're going to be alone, try to find a person or a place where you can go, even if you go out to eat, and you make friends with the wait staff, or you make friends with the person sitting at the table next to you. There's a lot of people, and this just hit me. You could go volunteer to serve food at an old folks home. I'm sorry, I know that's probably totally politically incorrect. Assisted living facility or something like that. To make a connection, because a lot of times older people who are living in these facilities, their families don't come to visit them. They're alone. They have each other, but it's not the same. Yeah, thank you. Kathy, do you want to pop on and do a reading? Someone's asking Alicia is asking to hear from her brother. Oh, thank you for that heart. Thank you so much. I don't know if Alicia's still here. Christmas was his fate. Okay. Oh, no problem. Do you want to go live? People are starting to ask for readings. I'm going to invite you and see if I mess up. If I go off, I always press the wrong button. If I go off here, I'll be back because I always mess it up. Trent has a reading. Okay. Yes, Trent is a sweetheart. She does have a reading coming up. Is that right? Oh, there she is.
Hello?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Can everybody hear Kathy? Jordy said, hey, or no, Wendy, I'm not sure who's saying this. Yes, ma'am, Alicia can hear us.
Who is Shorty?
I don't know. I don't know who Shorty is.
Shorty, what's your first name? I feel like we know you, but I don't know. Shorty was my dog's name.
Oh, how interesting. How is your dog?
Yeah.
Is it Shiloh that was sick?
Yep, Shiloh's doing good.
Okay,
Yep,
good.
she's doing good. Oh, Ashley. Okay. Welcome, Ashley.
Okay. So we have
Hi,
a couple. Oh, you can see the comments?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm never sure. Okay.
I'm so glad you can see me right now because I've been cooking all day, so.
Are you having company tomorrow?
So we, since we live on a sailing catamaran, we're at a marina in South Carolina, and the restaurant here that's on property invited the boaters that live here because we were talking about loneliness and being out without family. He invited all the boaters to come celebrate Thanksgiving at the restaurant. So he closed the restaurant and invited all the boaters. So we're all, doing like potluck, and then of course he's cooking some stuff. So I've been cooking all day.
That's awesome. That's a
Yeah.
great idea. All right, so we have Amy would like a reading from her mom, and then somebody else for their brother, Alicia. Alicia was first for her brother, and she said he loved the holidays.
Oh, you know what? I just gotta go grab my notebook really quick. I wasn't really
I know.
prepared.
I gotta go grab my notebook. I'll wait till you come back and I'll just
Okay.
chat. So you're waiting for a reading. I forgot my notebook because I'm not in my office. I came downstairs. So because I
Okay.
wanted ready to see my pretty.
I don't have to go far.
We're a mess. It's the day before Thanksgiving. We don't know what's going on.
So who was the first one?
Alicia for her brother who loved the holidays. And while you start that, I'm gonna aim my camera up to the ceiling and I'm gonna go grab my notebook.
Okay. Alicia, could you just give me your brother's first name, please?
Justin.
Okay.
Sorry about the wiggly camera.
And is it Alicia? I hope I'm saying that right. I'm sorry. Alicia, Justin. Okay. Just give me 1 second to connect, okay? I'm going to start to bring through some information, and if you could just type yes, no, I don't know in the chat as I bring through information. But as I'm connecting, I do feel that I know you said he loved the holidays, but what I'm feeling initially too is like he just loved life in general, not just the holidays. Because I feel like I am just a happy person and full of life, full of love, spirit. So this is just what I'm initially getting for Justin. Can you just confirm that would be Justin's personality, to be very happy, joyful, and love life. Just love life. If you could just... I also feel like his transition was unexpected, because there's this feeling of like, I feel like I'm missing out. Okay. So do you understand that his transition too is very unexpected? Because I just get this, he just makes me feel like people feel like I'm missing out. So let me know if that also resonates with you, Alicia. Okay, thank you. So I know that he's your brother, but I feel like, I don't know if there's another sister or a daughter, because he's also wanting me to talk about my girls. So I feel like he's also very connected to the women in his life, or the girls in his life. Does that make sense to you as well? Because he's very sensitive and very connected to the women in his life. Do you understand why he's talking about that as well? Because he's very protective over them and very connected. Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. Okay. He does make me feel like people still celebrate him at the holidays, and I feel like there is even a chair in his honor. People are talking about setting a chair for him, or people do set a chair for him, because he loved to eat, and dinner was his favorite. You understand this? Because he's just talking about being there for the dinner. So do you understand him liking dinner? Food is like coming to the forefront. He loved the food part of holidays. You understand that? And also the setting of the table. Setting of setting a chair for him at the table. I'm sorry. Yes, we set a chair, and yes, oh my God, he could eat like no. Okay, perfect. So this is just all to confirm that we are definitely connected to your brother Justin. And boy, he just makes me feel like I don't want to tell the stories, but you guys have some stories from your past. So he's just laughing about that, and he's like, we had a good time. We had a real good time, he's saying. Okay. And he's like, I'm not going to say that there was trouble involved, but, you know, we had some fun. We had some fun. He's also wanting me to talk about, I don't know if you played games too at the holidays, like especially when you were younger, because I'm feeling like, I don't know if you all played games. You understand that? Because he's like, he's just giving me the feeling of the experience that you guys had during the holidays. So if you could just keep playing those games. He's like, keep playing those games. Think of me when you're playing those games. Do you understand why he's talking about that as well? Just wait for her. Yes, okay. Thank you. Okay. So the feeling that I'm getting, that he's giving me, is that this is either the first or very close to the first holiday season without him. Because he's just making me feel that he needs you to know that he is still very present. Okay, he's still very present in the family's life, in your life. So don't, please, he's like, please don't think of me as gone. Please don't think of me as gone. He just wants you to know that he is very near and he's going to be celebrating. Like he knew about the chair and knows about the chair. And so do you understand this being, if it's not the first holiday season without him, it is near the, like close to the first. So he hasn't been transitioned very long. Do you understand that? And he's just like, keep me in your memories, keep me in your thoughts, keep talking to me, keep talking to me, okay? He does want to send love to you. And I also have to say the ladies. So, and I feel like there's either another sister or there's multiple other females that he needs to give love to. And you talk to him every day. Perfect. So when we ask questions like, can he tell you how he passed? That would be something that I would prefer to do in like a one-on-one reading, not in a public forum. And then I just would like to say also that sometimes we're not meant to know that information. So even if we go to him and we ask him, he might not even say. So things that I've learned in my readings are sometimes that just doesn't matter. As hard as it is, the way we transition doesn't matter. What matters is that our soul is at peace, that we're happy and we're healthy and we're okay on the other side. So thank you, Alicia, for allowing me to work with you and your brother, Justin. Thank you.
Wonderful, beautiful. Hi, Ashley. I would like to see if Amy's still here. I think Amy Smith is still here. Beautiful reading. Hi, Amy. You were looking to connect with your mom. And for some reason, she's had me scribbling all kinds of stuff down, like writing things and drawing pictures. And she compelled me to hold my notebook sideways, which I don't normally do. So I don't know if maybe she was left-handed or ambidextrous. I don't know. But for some reason, if you understand why she would have me do that sideways, let me know. But she's showing me when you're cooking, you can feel her almost, she's showing wrapped around the back of you and helping you cook. So I don't know if this is something you have experienced lately or ever experienced, but she's showing me this big pot. You're cooking something in a big pot and she's standing there in spirit. You have. Thank you very much. Thank you for validating that. And she's just showing me this huge pot. So I don't know if this was like means something, like this giant pot over the fire. So let me know if that makes sense for you, because she's like, I don't know, witch's brew is what's coming to mind, but like boiling chicken or something in this big giant pot. And she's also talking to me, and it's so funny because my friend Ashley popped on here, and she's talking about the group of motherless daughters. So that's either referring to, you have friends that you've made your own group of motherless daughters, you attend a group, or the fact that there's a bunch of motherless daughters here. I made vegetable soup the other day and I felt her over the top of me. Okay, wonderful, because she had me draw the big, I don't know if you can see it, the big pot, and she's there standing behind you. So yeah, being a motherless daughter is a thing. Like, it's a different thing. And when you don't have a mother, there are things you miss out on where, oh, I need to call my mom and ask her that question. Oh, how long do I cook the chicken? Oh, how long? Oh, I have great news. I'm having a grandchild, or I'm having a child. Yeah, so she's talking about the empty space that is creating entrance here. So I think there's a bunch of people on here that I recognize that are motherless daughters. So let me just ask for a collective message to the motherless daughters. Hi, T. Hi, Tea Drinker. I watch your stuff all the time. It's wonderful. So let me ask and see what the moms want to say. So now I see all these little faces, and they're all trying to come through, and they all want to give a message, and they just keep showing their arms around us as motherless daughters and saying, listen, we're here. We are, I had a profound reading that I received yesterday about my mother, so it's just still kind of resonating with me today. We're always here with you, which is, I know that's not any evidence, but they're just letting you know. I got distracted by this other vision I got of a different thing about the mothers. They want to ask if anyone has seen, some comments in this live were filtered, so that seems like it's awesome. What happened? Did anybody see anything weird? Pardon?
I did not see anything weird yet, so I don't know why that popped.
Has anyone physically seen a manifestation of their mother after they passed? Because they're talking about that. And that we are feeling them with us, especially through the holidays, even though we're missing them, we're feeling them with us. And so this is the message. There's nothing I can tell you that's going to make you feel better. Oh, Amy has. Okay. Thank you, Amy. Okay. So this is your mom coming through and saying that was real. That was me. So, okay. So the message is, there's nothing I, Nicole, Peaceful Nik, can say to you to fill that empty space. All I can do is assure you that with my experiences with spirit, that we go on after this life. And I have 10,000 things I want to say all at one time, and I'm going to forget 9,000 of them. But just know our mothers are here with us, very firmly attached. And anytime we think of them, when we're cooking our holiday meal, or we're setting the table, or we're on our way to so-and-so's house to have dinner, or we're meeting up with a sibling where we share the same mother, they feel that energy and they know that we're thinking of them. And it's like an antenna. I say this all the time. You signal out an antenna and you call forward the person you want to connect with, in this case, the mother. Amy says, I have let myself open a lot lately, and the things I see and hear are unbelievable at times. Yes, that's how it is being a medium. I'm sure Kathi can concur with that. Let me just tell this brief mother story. So just know our mothers are with us and they're around us. Yesterday in the class Kathi encouraged me to take, thank you, I received a reading. We were doing a workshop, and the woman who gave me the reading was incredible, and it was the strongest my mother had ever come through in any reading. And the thing she told me was something about seeing the manifestation, which I hadn't, but my sister had, a different sister that's not on here now, a different sister, and it scared her. And so I said to my mom, please don't come full form, it'll freak me out, just talk to me in my head. And today on the earlier live, one of the people talking on the live had the same name as my sister who saw my mother. So I was like, oh, that's a little wink saying, yeah, I heard you. I know not to come through in a physical manifestations. Oh, Kathi, this is a great question. Can all spirits manifest themselves? I will defer to your expertise on that.
Well, my expertise says I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I could answer that.
I didn't know either. That's why I asked you.
Yeah.
But what I think that spirits can do whatever they want. I think it's what can we receive?
Yes, exactly. I believe that 100%. What can we accept? What can we receive? What are we open to? Yes, yep. I believe that.
Humans are, we're soft, mushy, flesh. We're not real strong compared to spirits. Spirits can do anything that they want to do. I'm sure one could walk through my living room right now and wave to me. It'd probably make me have a heart attack. But let's see, Brandy, Medium, Angel, hi. All right, Trent says, because they know I'm open, yet no manifestations. Interesting. Sometimes they,
maybe there's not a need. Maybe there's just not a need for it.
And I feel like spirits are kind of smart alecky. Because whenever someone, like when you had the person ask you the direct question earlier about how her brother passed, anytime I get a direct question from a client like that, the spirit kind of, I don't know, it's kind of ticks them off a little. Not that, you know what I mean? Maybe that's just my interpretation. But it's kind of, or maybe it's my own mind saying, look, don't test me. Does that ever happen to you?
Sometimes I get the information, sometimes I don't. I think spirit just knows what's for our highest and greatest good, so if it's not going to do us any good to actually know that information, they're not going to share that. So it's really just, I give it all up to spirit, and I just trust them, and whatever they give me is what I get.
That's a good answer. I love it. Let's see. We've got Angela says, I've seen them look just as real as a living person. I have seen full manifestations, just not my mother. I've seen them in my house probably 20 years before I became a medium. And it was broad daylight. And I was so surprised by it that I thought it was my husband walking through the room, and he was at the other end of the house. And it was definitely not him. And my kids were little, so it wasn't them. So yeah, but not my mother or anyone I know. And I just said to the spirit, hey, just don't scare us. You can hang out. You're not bothering me, but just don't scare me or my kids.
And some will come in different, like I see all my loved ones in my dreams. Like they come in so clear in my dreams. So maybe that's just where I meet them or where I see them. Mostly is in my dreams.
Yeah, I do too.
They'll
I
come
have,
clear
I've,
as, yeah.
oh, that's a good question. Wounded Wound Warrior. And this has happened to me too, and I know exactly what she means. You see
Mhm.
a human person that
Yes.
looks like your loved one that's been lost. Is that their way of visiting? I think it is. I think it's a way that they say, look at this person, they look like me. Don't forget, hi, I'm here, something like that.
Yes. I've had that happen too. My husband and I were out to lunch one day, and it was shortly after my grandma transitioned. And we're sitting there, and I'm like, oh my God, that lady looks just like my grandma. He looks and he's like, oh my God. And then 2 seconds later, we looked at her. I'm like, oh, like she looks different. I'm
Mhm.
like, for a second there, it's like my grandma's like, hi, I'm here. I'm okay.
It's almost like they overlay their energy so
Hmm.
you recognize them and then it whoop, can go
Yep.
away. Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting story. My brother-in-law, David, who I was very close to, my husband was very close to, he passed away 2016, I believe. And everywhere my husband and I go, probably 80% of the time, the person who helps us is named David. And my husband's like, oh, David's a common name. I'm like, 80% of the people we meet are named David.
Yeah.
So a few days ago, we went out to eat, and the person who helped us was named David. The next day, we went to buy a piece of furniture. The person who helped us is named David. I mean, it just happens all the time. And I said, "Oh, your name's David," and I just kind of nudged my husband, like, "See, told you so."
Right. Yeah, you can't ignore those synchronicities, right?
No, no, not at all. It happens all the time. All right, so what do we have here? Brandy, medium angel. I see heaven, angels, loved ones, memories, God, trauma, feel, and much more. Okay, all right, yeah. Um, Jessica said David is so helpful. Yes.
Love that.
No coincidences? Nope. Trent says they know I'm lonely, just wish they would show themselves more often. I would say that sometimes, and this happens in readings, I actually gave a reading to a lady who's been in some of our groups, Kathy. I've given her many readings, and her sister in spirit said, stop getting readings. Stop for a while, give yourself a break.
Hmm.
Sometimes they want you to separate from depending on them for emotional comfort or support because
Right.
they're there, but they want you to heal your human stuff. Um, Trust me, I know it's hard. We've all lost loved ones, but sometimes we need to do a little human healing. And sometimes they hold back. Like my brother-in-law, David, he did not come through to me. I begged, please come in a dream, please come in a dream, please come in a dream. It was at least 5 years, probably, around there before he visited me in a dream. He was stubborn in life and he's stubborn in spirit. And so he wasn't coming. He just wasn't going to do it. And finally he showed up and now I get readings and he's there and he's fine. And Trent just booked another one today with someone new. All right, girl, let's see what happens. They show up. Angela says they show up when they know you're ready to handle it. I think that's part of it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Trent said, I've been getting a lot of readings lately. Yes, yes. I'm going backwards in the messages. I'll give it a rest. Yeah, sometimes we need to give it a rest. Um, Not that helping small business owners is a bad thing, but do some stuff for your human healing is probably a good idea. What do you think, Kathy?
I always recommend people wait at least 3 months between readings,
Mm-hmm.
6 months or longer if possible. But I know it does help people in their healing, so it's kind of hard to. But
Yeah.
for me, I'd like I like to always tell people at least 3 months longer if possible.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Do you want
And
to try to give another reading?
sure, but and to that point too, I also want to say that we all can be our own mediums. So you don't have to necessarily go to a medium. So,
Yeah.
just learn to connect with your loved ones on your own. Um, and you won't need to always see a medium, and just trust that they're always there. They're just a thought away. And you can make that connection yourself every day, just by talking to them, honoring them, especially during the holidays, when it's difficult. Do something, in memory of them. Like, I just had a client say that she's going to make her son's favorite dish this holiday in honor of him. Do those kinds of things that will help your connection
Yeah.
to them.
It brings
Or
them
with,
closer to you because you're
Mhm.
thinking about them. So,
Right.
and that's how when I do readings, I'm sure Kathy probably has a similar technique. Before a reading, if I know the client's name, I'll say to spirit, bring the person, bring the spirit, bring the loved one for such and such. Bring them to me, bring them, let me connect with them, let me get, and I'll say the person's name if I know it over and over. And I mean, like clockwork, within, sometimes it's early in the day, they show up before I've even put it out there. But if they haven't shown up, I mean, 30 seconds to 60 seconds before a reading, there they are in my head.
Mhm.
Usually their full face is there. If not an impression of male or female or the relationship. And, I used to get really nervous and anxious before readings. And now it's like, I trust
Yeah.
a lot more. The more experience you get, the more you trust. I'm like, oh, they'll show up. They'll show up. I used to like do nothing. I don't do readings till 11 a.m. or noon because I am not a morning person. And so I used to do nothing. I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. I was afraid. Now I can like go to the grocery store and, run errands before I start my readings. But before, I was afraid to go do anything. I felt like I had to be in this special, cloistered box just in case the spirit wouldn't show up. But the longer you do it, the easier the connection is, I guess, because you trust more.
Mhm. Yep.
Do you have a pre-reading ritual?
Do I? Just before like 10 minutes before I do any reading, I just sit real quiet and I talk to my guides. I ask my guides for, assistance. Usually just 10 minutes right before the reading. I ask to connect with my client, their loved ones, and of course to give any messages for their highest and greatest good, any kind of healing that they need. I just open it up and just a quick 10 minutes, just so I can connect with each person.
Yeah.
But I do, I probably should do it more, but I only like maybe I do a lot of walking meditation. Like every day I'll do like a walking meditation, but that's about it as far as meditation. And then I'll sit in the power like a couple times a week.
How long do you do that? How long do you sit in the power?
I usually do like 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes,
I
probably
know.
three times a week. Just, I also like run my energy, clear my energy, just kind of clear my chakras, run my chakras, just clear it all.
You're gonna have
Um,
to teach me how to do that.
it's really easy. You just set your intention and you just run your chakra, go from your root all the way up to your crown and just clear each chakra. Yeah.
Because I am very bad at, I, I have to force myself to sit in the power. I have to force, maybe because I work all week. I don't know, but I'm bad. I'm a bad girl. Like, I have to really, really, really force myself to do it. Um, just because I'm running around like crazy all the time. All right, let's see. Do you want to try to do another reading?
Sure, if we have some new people on here that want to.
Let's see. Some people commented earlier. I haven't seen any new comments in several minutes. So, Wendy says, may I connect with a loved one, my husband or brother or father? So, Wendy, I think Kathy's going to say pick one and give me their name.
I think
Pick
you
one
read
and give
my
me their
mind.
name. Am I psychic? Did I know that?
Yes, Wendy, please pick one and just give me their name.
Husband Douglas. That's my husband's name. How funny.
And okay, Douglas. Okay, just give me 1 second. So I'm connecting, but because you already put it out there that there was a couple people that you wanted to connect with, just bear in mind that it could be one of these people. But as I'm connecting, I do feel a male energy here. And when he steps into my awareness, I can see that he's like kind of tall and thin. So would that describe your husband? Because we did mention a couple other people. So I just want to make sure.
Her husband.
Is
It's her
she?
husband. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. And he does make me feel like he's a little bit on the quieter or more reserved side because he's just kind of like unsure right now, like what to think of this. So do you understand that with Douglas's personality?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Um, And when I'm asking him, I'm like quiet, and he's like, "Well, you could call me a little quirky. Like he liked to do things in his own way." He says, so he does make me feel like he had his own way of doing things. But he says, "I loved her very, very much." So he wants to say, and I know this isn't evidential, but I have to say it because he's like, "You were the love of his lifetime, right? Of his lifetime." He's just wanting to say that. So that means something to you to hear that is what he's saying. Because it's like you accepted him for all of his, he's like awkwardness, funniness, whatever. He's just saying thank you for accepting me. Okay.
Yes, that means so much to me. I'm bawling.
Oh,
LOL.
so this is just how spirit, it might not be evidential to us necessarily as mediums, but just knowing how much that means to you, um, it's spirit knows exactly what we need to hear. So we just trust spirit. Okay. Are you, so he is showing me like sleeping with a pillow. Are you hugging the pillow or sleeping with the pillow? Because he's like, it's like she's hugging the pillow like it's me. He's just showing me like hugging the pillow. He's just wanting to say that he's there. He's there while you're doing this, okay? So know that while you're hugging this pillow at night and you're, talking to him and thinking about him, he's there. And he's bringing you comfort. He's trying to give you comfort at night, especially, okay? And did he collect things? Because he just makes me feel like, oh my gosh, I have so much crap. He's just like, he's like, oh my God. So I don't know, do you understand him being a collector of things? Because he's like, oh, there's so much stuff. Just talking about all of his stuff. Do you understand that with him? Because it's like she doesn't know where to start. It's like, I have so much stuff.
Yes, he collected a lot of stuff and she feels him at night.
Okay. Because, and do you understand? He's like, she just doesn't know where to start. It's like, do I keep some of this stuff or should I let it go? But he does make me feel like you have kept some very important pieces. When I ask him what these pieces are, I don't know if they're coins or medals or something. because they do look round, and it feels like metal. But I do feel like you have these pieces. Do you understand having these pieces? He says pieces.
She said, I kept a lot, but donating some clothes, and yes, kept important things of his.
Okay. Do you understand why he would be showing me, like, I don't know if they're metals or coins or something round that would be metal. This is like his important pieces. And he's specific, like pieces. Just let me know if that makes sense. Because I could just be interpreting the information incorrectly. But I do feel like this is round metal pieces that we collected.
Yes.
And coins. Okay, thank you. And that the importance of the coins is that they are signs from him as well. And I know people always say pennies, 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 but he's showing me silver. So I'm feeling from him that he sends you nickels, he sends you dimes as validation. And you find these in odd places, he's saying, and if you haven't found them yet, you will be finding them in odd places.
Yes, dimes.
Okay, perfect. And just he's laughing. And did he have like this really goofy laugh? Because I just could hear like this really goofy laugh. And he's like, she gets it, she gets it. Okay. Okay. Oh. Do you have a cat? Because he's talking about a cat. Wendy, oh my God, yes, like it will be there, then I look and it will appear. Oh, awesome. Okay. I don't know why he's just talking about a cat.
Just adopted 2 cats and have 4.
Oh, okay. That's why he's talking about the cats. Okay. So he's just laughing about the cats. Okay. And it's like he knows about the cats. So you must have gotten a cat after he transitioned.
She said, I said the boy cat is his spirit.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So this is just validation for you, right? That we're connected to him. He's connected to you. So just know that he's very much a part of your life still. He loves you very much. And I'll just say thank you so much for letting me work with you. And I will leave you with all of his love, Wendy. And I'll just do a little plug on here, Nicole, if I may.
Yeah, of course.
If you want to do a book a full reading with me, you can do so on my website, kathibehrens.com. Otherwise, follow my Facebook page, or keep following Peaceful Nik on here, and we'll do more readings like this.
Oh yeah, we'll go live on other platforms as well. Wonderful, beautiful reading. Is Angela? Oh, and how weird, Angela. I was just gonna say, are you still here for Joe? All right, awesome. So hold on, hold comments, DJ, and everybody. All right, Angela, I have I think this is your son's father, Joe. And he showed me a clown, and he had me drawing a clown. They have me draw now. It's a new thing. Do you understand that? I'm not sure if the yes came.
It just came right now.
Okay. So I'm on the cusp. And then he showed me the Joker smile. So it more from clown to the, the movie, The Joker. Yes, him and our son are jokesters. Okay. So, all right. So I'm with your former partner. Would you understand he suffered from mental health issues or addiction issues? Because he feels sad inside. And I'm not sure if that yes came after.
That's been there. Yeah, that's been there.
Oh, both. Okay, thank you. All right, just double making sure. I'm just feeling very emotional. This energy is making me feel very emotional, and I want to break down and cry. I'm going to try not to, but he's talking about all the joking and all the laughing and all the fun was covering up his pain. No, don't apologize. No. If I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't do it. No, never apologize. No, not necessary. It's my pleasure. And do you understand why he's taking responsibility in part for his passing? He says, it's my fault. It's my fault. He's blaming himself, whether this, yes, okay, thank you. He's showing me now, because he's funny, he's showing me a clip from the Ricky Bobby movie. He's saying, I buried it deep down. I couldn't bring him back and blame myself. Okay, hold on. Don't tell me anything yet. He's saying this clip from Talladega Nights. I buried it deep down. Like he buried his pain deep down and made jokes out of it because he didn't know how to deal with it. I'm glad you get that. So he wants you to know in spirit, he's this pure, loving soul, who's, now he's saying clone. Is your son like his clone? Like very similar? He's saying he's my clone. I've been getting a lot of like stuff from music and movies. His son is his clone. Okay. He's saying clone. Okay. This is his message. This is very important. Okay. He's telling me about boxing up his feelings. He said, even though his son is his clone, he doesn't have to be his clone as far as boxing. He's showing me a boxing up his feelings, He doesn't have to box up his feelings. Make sure his son learns to process those feelings. If he has to go to a grief group, maybe you already have him in some kind of counseling. But if he doesn't process the feelings from his father's passing, he will repeat those patterns and maybe go down a dark path. And it is not too late to keep him from going all the way down that path. You're trying. Very good. Good. However, if there is, I know I come from a family of addicts, so trust me, I know. If there's a way to veer him in the right direction, guide him in the right direction, that's great. But once you hit a certain point, it's your own path you have to figure out for your son. So keep trying, but don't put yourself in a position where, I'm not sure how old your son is. If he's an adult, that's a totally different dynamic than if he's a kid. But you have to pick how far can I go down this road to save him without harming myself to a certain degree. So if he's an adult, you have to have very strict boundaries. Don't give him money. Don't take him to pick anything up, any supplies or anything. If he's a minor, that's a different story. So just make sure you keep him guided, and that's all you can do. Teach him the right thing, show him love, be understanding, tell him the truth. And his dad wants you to know he's around. And when you talk to the dad, your son's dad, Joe, when you talk to him, say, maybe put some information in my son's ear so he doesn't turn out to make the same mistakes. Ask him to talk to him, and let your son know, be open to any signs you may see if he's open to it, because not everybody is. Thank you. What a lovely, lovely soul. Thank you for allowing me to connect with him. Wonderful, wonderful soul to connect with. Thank you very much, Angela, and I wish you well on your journey with your son. All right. Kathy, DJ wants to talk to his mom real bad. What do you what do you think? Her
That
name's
was that was an awesome reading, I just have to say. So,
oh, thank you, Kathy. I
okay,
learned
so
from you, you know.
now we learn from each other.
I do. I learn a lot from you.
So DJ,
Yeah, there was
were
some
you?
other messages way, way earlier, but DJ needs to hear from his mom, I think. If you can connect, if not, I'll wait and go after.
Just let me. I just want to see DJ, and then I just need to know the first name of your mom.
Nicole. Her name's Nicole.
Oh, okay. And is it N-I-C-H or N-I-C-O?
Nico.
I always like to respect them and get their name spelled right.
Yes. I recognized it because that's my name. I have to run and get another pen. I'll be right back.
Okay. Cool. She was a young. Okay, so right away as I'm connecting DJ, she just makes me feel like I was a young mom. So she makes you feel like she was very young when she had you or your siblings, because she just immediately pops in and says, I was a young mom. She also makes me feel like she wasn't very old when she transitions. So I'm thinking like middle, like she's showing me like middle age. So do you understand with your mother that she would have been a young mom, and also when she transitioned, she was... she's also saying fairly young, like middle age. So just let me know, DJ, if that sounds like we're connecting with your mom, Nicole. Yes, she was 18 and died. Okay, perfect. Because right away, the first thing she said was like, I was a young mom. Okay. And would you understand, was this a car accident? Because or there's something to do with a car. She's showing me a car. So if it wasn't a car accident that she was involved in that caused her transition, she does make me feel like there's a significance to a car that you would understand. Just let me know if you understand why she would be talking about a car or a car accident. And just let me know if you understand that, DJ. I don't see any comments yet. Oh, it wasn't a car accident. She loved her car, though. Okay, so you understand the significance of the car. And do you have this car? Okay. There's just really a significance with this car. She just makes me feel like it was a classic. Okay. She has a good sense of humor, because she's like, it was classic, like me, like she was classic. But she's like, she feels like she's very up. Yeah, she wants to talk about herself being very classic. Even though she was a young mom and young when she transitioned, she talks about herself in a way that she feels very, very classic. Do you understand why she's talking about herself that way? Okay. There is an apology, because she does make me feel that her actions and choices. I don't have the car. It was a classic. Okay, perfect. And there is this feeling that she needs to apologize. And she gives me this feeling that there may have been some things unsaid, and she just needs to tell you right now how much she loves you. So I do hope you understand why she's coming through today in wanting to give you this apology and letting you know just how much she loves you. That's very, very important. She also makes me feel like I need to talk about stars and seeing her in the stars, or there's stars connected to her. Whether or not you look for her up in the sky, she's just talking about, and I'm having to draw stars. She's making me draw stars. So do you understand that as well? The apology coming through, letting you know exactly how much she loves you, and looking at the night sky and looking up at the stars. She just keeps talking about looking up at the stars. It's also important that you know that her soul is okay. She is at peace. This is also, I watch the stars every night. She did bad actions towards her death. Okay. So just know while you're watching the stars, she's there. She knows. She's with you. So, do you have her t-shirts? She's just showing me her t-shirts. Like, she just makes me feel like she had a lot of t-shirts, and she's talking about her t-shirts. I don't know if she had like one with, you know, like band t-shirts and all those t-shirts that have sayings on them. She just is talking about her t-shirts. Do you understand why she'd be talking about her t-shirts? And she does make me feel like either you have them or you wear them. Her shirts, yeah. Okay. So it's also very important that you know that she is at peace. Her soul is at peace, but she is also working on her own healing, okay? She only wore t-shirts. She refused to wear it. Yeah, because she's just talking about her t-shirts. So these are just things to verify that we're connected. Again, she's giving you information that you would know about her, and only wearing t-shirts. So I don't know if you have these t-shirts, but she does make me feel like you might have one or wear one. Okay. So again, she needs you to understand her soul is at peace. She is at peace, and she's very sorry for her actions and her words. She is healing on the other side, and she's now understanding how her choices have affected you. Okay, so it's important that you understand that she's learning to heal herself and helping to heal you as well. And that's her reason for coming through today, is because you needed this healing. She said, my daughter needed this healing. And she says, I answered her questions. So you've probably asked her some of these things that we've already talked about today. So I'm going to leave you with all of her love. And I thank you so much for letting me work with you, DJ. And know that that bond that we have is never broken. Okay? Oh, thank you so much.
Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. TikTok sent me a message and said, you've been live for 90 minutes, take a break. I'm like, I work all the time. I'm on a break. I got to go live when I'm on my break. So I'll do one more reading. And then I actually have to make myself some dinner. I'm starving. That's so funny. Don't they want people on this app? I thought that's what they wanted. Let's see. Chris Perkins, do you have a person in spirit you want to talk to? And we'll see if I can call them up. Your mom. Okay.
Oh, another mom.
Hi, Heather, psychic medium. I saw Mindful Mandy also came in. I just do want to ask, because while Kathy was reading, I had a very strong impression in my mind of I can't say it on here because it'll get me banned, but a pew pew. If anyone has understands that, let me know. If you know what a pew pew is, something that would get me kicked off here. So I'm not going to say it. Shorty does. Okay. All right. So just hold that thought, Shorty. Was this, I can't remember who you are because I think you must have changed your screen.
It's Ashley. Shorty's
Okay.
Ashley.
Okay. Do we know Ashley?
I do. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I do.
All right. Okay. All right. So, okay. So if you are, and I'll just do this before I go to Chris's mom. If you have someone who passed that way, and since there's a couple on here, I would say that they want you to know that was, they're saying the last measure, their final measure, their final, I can't get the word they're saying. The final act, the final, the curtain closed. They're saying things like this. So if you understand that, and this could be for more than one, but I just wanted to put that out there that no matter how someone passes at their own hand, at the hands of others, whether it's violently, whether it's sudden, they all crossed a spirit and they're all, okay, Ashley understands, okay. They all pass to the spirit world and they're safe and at peace and there's no punishment. Please follow Dan McClellan on here, especially if you're someone who has had a lot of religious dogma put into your mind and thinking that people who self-harm are going to go to hell. They're not. Hell's not a thing. Satan's not a thing. Dan McClellan made a great video. I think it was today. He's a biblical scholar and he's amazing. And he explains the misinterpretations of the Bible and what it's really saying, and that Satan's not a real thing and hell's not a real thing. So if you have some, hi Monette, if you have some, yeah, Mimi says, yes, from church. Yep. If you have some of that stuff in your mind, follow Dan McClellan because he explains what's really being said and how religious dogma makes it sound like it's something it's not, to scare people, to control people, things like that. So just know that if that was something you were worried about, Ashley, and if you've had readings with Kathi before, you probably already know that, but they just wanted to come through and say, no matter how you passed, you're safe and at peace, and there's no punishment. Okay, great. So now Chris Perkins for her mom. Okay, so it's so funny that there's all these moms, and my mom's been with me all day. I've been cooking and feeling her with me all day long. So let me try to connect to your mom. Just give me a second. Did your mom, would you understand beautiful handwriting or something about her handwriting? Maybe she did calligraphy or something, but she's making me write beautiful handwriting. Let me know if you understand that. She's like, beautiful handwriting, writing in cursive, something like that. And she's talking about, so, I hope you're still here. My comments aren't loading. Always happens in the middle of a reading.
I haven't seen anything.
Okay, she wrote all the time. Okay, she's like, da, 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 da. Okay, beautiful. And she was incredibly beautiful, and especially in your eyes. She was the most beautiful woman in the world. And she's talking about, but she was humble. Almost like, well, let me know if you understand that. Journaling was journaling and was actually buried with her journal and pen. Beautiful. Okay. She was anything. Oh, she was anything but humble. Okay. But beautiful, right? She was gorgeous, though. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, maybe she's, making a little joke. That's funny. She said something else, and now you made me laugh with that, so I lost my train of thought. She's showing her hair. Her hair was. She's talking. There's that story about the lady with the hair and the power in the hair. Was her hair like a thing for her? Like, she made sure it was done, and she made sure it was. I almost feel like it was long at one point. And maybe something happened to her hair. Did she? At one time, yes. Okay. She's talking about having to get rid of her hair, having to cut her hair. Something happened to her hair that made her not be able to have long hair. And then she's saying something else. If it gets uncomfortable, just type in stop, okay? Do you understand? PCOS made her hair thin out and she had to cut it. Okay, thank you. That's an awful disease if anybody has ever experienced it. Would you understand that people, men especially, would manipulate her? Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. I just had a hysterectomy for endometriosis last year that I didn't know I had. So PCOS is all in that whole family. I'm so sorry. Would you understand she could have been taken advantage of or manipulated? Oh, thank you. Thank you. So she's really, I want to go down this line, but I want to know if you can understand it before I go down this line of information. Boy, these electronics in waiting. Yes, she had a trauma. Okay, yeah, all right. She just keeps saying manipulation. Would she have had more than one husband or lover or partner, or had different sections of time with different relationships that weren't always healthy? Yes, married 3 times. Okay, because she's going 1, 2, 3, done. Okay. And she said none of them were that great, to be perfectly honest. Like with an attitude, like none of them were that great, really, honestly. She's saying something unusual. She's saying milking it. And I think she's meaning milking a situation. My dad being the last before she died. I think I'm interpreting it as she milked a situation to get her through. Maybe it was for financial reasons or to keep herself safe. You know that term, I'm milking it, like when you stay at a job too long just so you can get your paycheck, or she's like, I milked it. You know, I stayed in it for self-preservation or to keep my head above water. Yes, I do understand. Okay. So this is her way of coming through to let you know this is her and she's around you and she wants to talk about what's going on currently with you. And she wants you to know, she said, I'm proud of you for the choice you had to make. So I don't know if you recently just had to make a choice that was difficult or you're in the middle of it. But something, she's showing me like a fork in a road. You either chose that way or that way. Both. Okay. Okay. She's proud of you for going through that. She said, without me being there with you, and how hard it was for you. And she wants you to know that. She goes, I get it. I get it. I know how hard it was. And she said, I heard you. So I feel like you were, you know, talking to her in your mind or out loud or something and being like, I need help. I don't know what to do. Yes, I miss her so bad and will never understand. Yes, yes, yes. She wants you to know she's there. So feel her around you. So if you know, ever cook together, spend time in the kitchen, or you crocheted together, or you journaled together, whatever you did that connected you to her, when you do that now, think of her. Think of her. Think of her. And it'll bring her closer to you. And like Kathy said earlier, and you know what, Kathy, we should do a class on this, a workshop. You can learn to connect on your own without having to get a mediumship reading. And the only issue with that is if you're asking for advice and you're hearing what you want to hear and not what they're always saying. So that's the only thing. You need validation. That's about some things. But you can listen for her. And she's showing me I can't tell if this is a butterfly on a flower or a flower and a butterfly, something very feminine like that. Do you see signs from her in a certain kind of flower, certain kind of butterfly? I can't tell what, maybe it's a hummingbird. It's blurry. I can't really make it out completely, but something that was special to her or remind you of her. She's like, keep looking for those signs. Maybe a bee. Okay. Maybe. Something flying by a flower. So it's very possible. Do you understand that? I'm seeing the symbol, the Bridgerton symbol, the bee, or the wasp. I don't know what it is. So know that she's around you and she'll be there with you through the holidays, and she's proud of your choices that you're making, and she knows they're difficult, and she'll be with you always, and continue trying to make a connection with her whenever you feel. We just hung a bee for flower pots right where we sat all the time on the porch. Beautiful, wonderful, wonderful. So anytime you're sitting there, think about her and bring her forward and, you know, talk to her. She'll talk, you'll be able to hear her. And thank you so much. What a lovely, 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 beautiful spirit to connect with. Thank you, Chris. Kathy, how are you feeling?
Well, I need to go.
Me too. I have got to cook dinner. I'm starving. And look
Yeah.
I've got this new flushing, this new thing that's happening to me where I get all red everywhere. It's awesome.
It's spirit, right?
Yes, I'm hot. I have the AC on so high it's freezing in here, but spirit makes me boil. And as soon as I'm done doing readings, I freeze to death. Like 5 minutes after my readings, I start freezing and shivering. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kathy, for joining me.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're not busy Friday, if I pop on, you want to join me?
I do have some readings on Friday, but if I'm available, yeah,
Right.
I'm happy to come on. Yeah.
I'll text you. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I'll text you. Who knows what I'll do. Thank you, everyone, and good luck with your family visits. And remember, keep yourself safe and protected emotionally. And we will see you on the next live. Thank you for joining.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Nicole.
Happy Thanksgiving.